Are we really back to boom time prices? Are property prices as high as they were in 2006? I'm sure you've seen articles by now that property prices are nearly back to 2006 levels, and according to the Central Statistics Office, we're only a few weeks away. I've had a quick look at this, and some of the details that I'm going to share might surprise you. I was doing a commercial rent review there recently, and two things struck me. The first thing was the rent that we had agreed was still below 2006 level by 18%. The second thing that struck me was when I was explaining the hierarchy of evidence to the client that indexes were at the bottom, and it reminded me that indexes were at the bottom of the list in terms of evidence for valuations. And for people that don't know, on the top of the list is open market transactions. It reminded me that I never use indexes in doing any valuations for any single asset, and no good valuer will ever use it, and there's a good reason why indexes are at the bottom of the list. Even the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors issued pretty strong guidelines about using them and when to use them and when not to use them, and realistically they're only there to provide a little bit of guidance or details from a national point of view, regional or a city point of view, and should never be really the focus of any type of valuation. So I want to do a little bit of research about some of the properties I can kind of remember back in 2006 versus the levels right now. The Central Statistics Office is residential, and back in 2006 I was living in Sandyford, and I do clearly remember the Beacon development coming on stream around that time, and two beds were selling for $455,000 in 2006. You can now pick up those same two bed apartments for $345,000, which is 25% less than what they were in 2006. The Beacon is not the greatest example for this because there are some water egress issues within the development. So I thought about another development in Sandyford, which was Park View, and at the time in 2006 you could pick them up for about $410,000. Those exact same apartments in 2022 can be acquired for $375,000. 9% lower than what was achieved in 2006. There's always going to be examples of higher prices and lower prices. I'm just making the point that it's important not to rely solely on indexes. A dramatic example would be Shrewsbury Road in Dublin 4, known as the most expensive street in Ireland. Houses on Shrewsbury Road exchanged hands for 30 to 40 million in 2007. The highest price paid recently last year was 13.25 million. And there is lots of reasons why there can be a major difference here in terms of house size, design, finishes, as well as development potential. But this also got me thinking about commercial property and where we stand on commercial property. How close are we to 2006 levels? In terms of development land, again, a dramatic example would be Ballsbridge in Dublin, where back in 2006 prices up to 130 million per acre were achieved. It's more likely closer to 25 million per acre now. Office values might be slightly higher now due to yield compression. However, Dublin prime office rents were about 62.50 per square foot back in 2006. Prime office rents in Ireland now are around €55 per square foot. So there's about a 12% difference off the peak in 2006. Granted, rents were slightly higher a few years ago, but there is still about a 12% difference between now and the peak in 2006. Zone A Grafton Street rents were about 580 per square foot back in 2006. They are now trading around €475 per square foot, which is nearly 20% off its peak in 2006. I am aware the Central Statistics Office index does relate to residential properties, but some residential properties are still way off their 2006 levels. Some are far higher. Some commercial property prices are way off their boom time highs as well. And I'm just pointing out that there's a good reason why real estate professionals don't really rely on indexes. If you ever want to reach out to me, contact details are below, including Instagram link. Also, there is a link there to join our monthly newsletter. Hopefully you will support the channel by giving this video a like and subscribe as well. And as always, thanks for watching.